amounted to 15.7 trillion naira at the end of December 2019.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offense.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor, Ibikule Amosu.
Welcome to Celebration Television News Desk. I am Belly Squetta. Thanks for joining us today. Now the news making the rounds. Buhari regime's second recession. NLC carpet federal government says cash sharing, loan misuse, ground economy. Ethiopia's Tigray crisis. Prime Minister declares assault on regional capital Mekele. U.S. election. Trump signals he is prepared to leave the White House. NICOM to sanction insurance firms over 40 billion naira unpaid claims. And on sports festival now to hold from January 3rd to 17th. Stay with us as the details of this news come after the break. Welcome back. Now the news in details. Buhari regime's second recession. NLC carpets federal government and says cash sharing, loan misuse, ground economy. The organized labor has assessed Nigeria's present economic situation, saying the federal government's social intervention program and misapplication of foreign loans deepened the country's recession. The Secretary General, Nigerian Labour Congress, Emmanuel Ugbaja, said misuse of foreign loans, insecurity and the cash giveaways in the form of trader money, market money and other cash sharing programs by the federal government worsened the recession in the country. He also lashed out at the federal government, saying it has not been consulting workers despite making mistakes repeatedly. Recall that the country entered its second recession in 5 years under the Muhammadu Buhari regime, as official figures show that the economy shrank again in the third quarter of this year. The latest recession is the worst in 36 years, as data obtained from the World Bank indicated that the country's gross domestic product dropped by 10.92% in 1983 and 1.2% in 1984. And according to the National Bureau of Statistics, it is reported that for the third quarter of 2020, the GDP, the broadest measure of economic prosperity, fell by 3.62% in the third month up till September. And speaking on the recession, Ugbaja faulted the misuse of foreign loans, which a few months ago pitted the executive against the National Assembly. And now moving forward, Christian lawyers lament monumental collapse of security in Nigeria. Christian lawyers in Nigeria have expressed with sadness that in the face of alleged monumental collapse of security and a near total breakdown of the law and order in Nigeria, the present administration headed by President Muhammadu Buhari has not deemed it necessary to change the service chiefs and to overhaul the entire security architecture of the country. And this was contained in a communique issued at the virtual president line council meeting of the Christian Lawyers Fellowship of Nigeria, that's the Class Fund, held via Zoom from the 20th to the 22nd of November 2020. And the communique was signed by Arome Okwori and Olatunji Omole, National President and National Secretary respectively. And the quarterly meeting of the President in Council, a body comprised of the National Executive Officers and the chairmen and secretaries of all the 50 branches and heads and secretaries of the directorates of the Class Fund, held from the 20th to 22nd November 2020 to deliberate on issues concerning the nation and Class Fund they steered. And meanwhile, the two-day meeting had in attendance the national officers and the representatives of the branches. The national president presided over the meeting as well as technical sessions. And during the technical sessions, participants stalled the manifestation of a new zeal to actualize the vision of Class Fund, which is to see a new legal profession anchored on Christ. And on another development, Ekiti recruits 600 new workers. The Ekiti State Commissioner for Information, Akingbowale Omole, said that no fewer than 600 fresh hands had been injected into the state workforce. And Omole, who attributed the delay in the completion of the recruitment in the states to the COVID-19 pandemic-induced lockdown, said the appointments were strictly based on merit in accordance with world best practices and irrespective of background, gender and religion. And the commissioner said in Do-Ekiti, a total of 138 candidates who were successful in the recent recruitment into the Ekiti State Civil Service have been given their letters of appointment and have assumed duty, while 21 others have yet to collect their letters. And 53 candidates were also appointed into the State Board for Technical and Vocational Education and have been duly assigned to offices, except 4 of them who have yet to also collect their letters of appointment. Also, 400 new teachers were in addition recruited by the state government into public secondary schools in the states in the recent exercise. Omole, who rebunked insinuations in some quarters that the recruitment was a charade, said that 200 others were converted from the non-teaching as well as in the inter-service transfer from the state's Universal Education Board and local governments to the teaching service commissions. And coming from around Africa, Ethiopia's Tigray crisis, Prime Minister declares assault on regional capital Mekelle. Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed says he is launching the final phase of the army's operation in the northern region of Tigray after weeks of fighting. He said the military will try not to harm civilians in the regional capital Mekelle, a city of 500,000 people, and urged residents to stay at home. The TPLF party, which controls Mekelle, has vowed to keep fighting. The United Nations warns of possible war crimes if the Ethiopian army attacks Mekelle. And UN Human Rights Chief Michelle Bachelet says the city's inhabitants were in deep peril. They are really alarmed by the dangerous situations, particularly because of the civilians trapped in Mekelle, adding that there was potential for serious violation of international humanitarian rights, human rights law. And Mr. Abiy Ahmed's announcement come after a deadline he gave to Tigray fighters to surrender passed on Wednesday. And hundreds of people have reportedly been killed and thousands have been forced from their homes as Ethiopian forces have seized the various towns in Tigray from the TPLF. And details of the fightings are hard to confirm because all phone, mobile and internet communications with the Tigray region have been cut. And moving forward, still from around Africa, Uganda police to probe killing of protesters. The police spokesperson Fred Enanga said Uganda's police have opened investigation into their violent crackdown on protesters last week that led to the death of dozens. The inquiry will identify mistakes that led to the collateral damage. And European Union envoy have already called for a full and independent investigation into police actions against protesters to ensure justice for victims and to avoid impunity for the perpetrators who must be held accountable. And Security Minister General Eli Tumwine added that police and other security forces have a right to shoot and kill if protesters reach a certain level of violence. All right, we're going to break a short break right now. We get more updates from the United States of America after the break. Don't go anywhere.
For the next expectations of a creator waited for the manifestations of the sons of God.
Papa, great and mighty miracles. He has been mad for 30 years. Papa, as soon as you get the word, the madness disappear and the voice cease on the spot.
Though the sorrow may last for the night, joy comes in the morning. Joy in the sorrow.
International Amazing Grace 2020. Apostle Johnson and Dr. Lise Suleiman.
I saw myself in the realm of the spirit. I'm in Kogi State. I see myself in a particular road, like police estate, Day Junction. I'm seeing a roundabout, and I'm seeing your house. I'm seeing your house. Is that where you stay?
2nd through 4th December 2020 by 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. daily. Live at the International Worship Center, Omega Fire Ministries, Kilometer 132, Benino Kene Abuja Expressway, Auchi, Edo State, Nigeria. For inquiry, please call. Manifestation of the sons of God. Your time to manifest.
Welcome back. Now, news updates from the United States of America. U.S. election, Trump signals that he is prepared to leave the White House. Donald Trump has said he will leave the White House if Joe Biden is formally confirmed as the next U.S. president by the Electoral College. The president has refused to accept defeat in the November 3rd vote and said it would be hard to concede. He also once again repeated on substantiated claims of vote fraud. And Mr. Biden leads Mr. Trump with 306 votes to 232 on the Electoral College system used to pick U.S. presidents. And now the tally is far more than the 270 needed to win, and Mr. Biden also leads the popular vote by more than 6 million. Electors will meet next month to formalize the results, with the Democrat Joe Biden due to be sworn in as president on the 20th of January. The president and his supporters have lodged a number of legal challenges over the elections, but most have been dismissed. Earlier this week, Mr. Trump finally agreed to allow the formal transition to President-elect Biden's team to begin, following several weeks of uncertainty. And now more updates from the United Kingdom. COVID-19, Northern Ireland under tough new lockdown measures. Tougher new COVID-19 restrictions are in place across Northern Ireland as a 2-week circuit breaker takes effect. Non-essential retailers have been told to close except for click and collect services, and cafes and restaurants can only provide a takeaway service. Close contact services such as hairdressers and beauty salons have also had to shut their doors. The restrictions came into force at 1 minute past midnight, that's GMT, today, and also will be in place until 1 minute past midnight on the 11th of December. It means Northern Ireland will revert to similar measures introduced in March, which with the exception of schools remaining open. And garden centers, supermarkets, and the homeware stores are exempt from closing under the new regulation. In Northern Ireland, there have been 962 coronavirus-related deaths. On Thursday, the Department of Health reported 8 deaths and 442 new positive cases of COVID-19. It is hoped that the measure announced by the Smallmont executive will help control the spread of coronavirus and bring the reproduction number down ahead of the Christmas period. And now moving forward to business news, NICOM to sanction insurance firms over 40 billion naira unpaid claims. The National Insurance Commission, NICOM, said it is compiling the list of insurance companies for necessary regulatory sanctions over unsettled claims, which industry experts have estimated to be over 40 billion naira. And Commissioner for Insurance, Sunday Thomas, speaking at the 2020 Insurance Directors Conference organized by NICOM and the College of Insurance and Financial Management, CIFM, in Lagos, said that the move is part of a measure to reposition and strengthen the industry. And he charged underwriters to pay attention to claims payment, especially now that the industry is fighting the negative public perception. And Thomas called on insurers to be responsive to the plight of their clients by prompt settlement of claims, and equally charged them to strengthen their homes and financial capital for effective participation in the big ticket risk. And he said the era of huge backlogs of claims should no longer be associated with their companies, and while the Commission is profiling companies with huge unsettled claims for necessary regulatory action, companies that are responsive to the plight of their clients in prompt settlement of claims are encouraged to sustain the good business conduct. And still from the world of business, oil falls to $47 as fate of OPEC Plus deal uncertain. The international oil benchmark, Brent crude, paired some of its recent gains as what seemed to be shaping up as a smooth OPEC Plus meeting had hit some turbulence with an airing of grievances. And the Brent, against which Nigeria's oil is priced, fell by $0.90 to $47.71 per barrel as of 7:10 p.m. Nigerian time on Thursday. And Brent crude prices have pushed near $50 per barrel in recent days, their highest level since the month of March. And in April, the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries and its allies, a group called OPEC Plus, committed to record production cuts that were to gradually taper over 2 years as the global economy recovered. And the current 7.7 million barrels per day in cuts, roughly 8% of pre-pandemic demands, are scheduled to ease to 5.8 million barrels per day in January. And according to S&P Global Platts, in the United Arab Emirates may be considering splitting from the group, while Iraq and Nigeria are appealing to pump more, and the recent vaccine-propelled rally in crude prices will test everyone's resolve to see through their landmark supply accord. And an extension of current output cuts is still the likeliest scenario, but some hard conversations over the future of the deal and the alliance itself could complicate a decision. All right, we'll go on another short break. After then, we'll come for news from the world of sports.
next expectations of a creator waited for the manifestations of the sons of God.
Papa, great and mighty miracles. He has been mad for 30 years. Papa, as soon as you get the word, there's madness disappear and the voice ceased on the spot.
Though the sorrow may last for the night, joy comes in the morning. Joining the sorrow.
International Amazing Grace 2020. Apostle Johnson and Dr. Lizzie Suleiman.
I saw myself in the realm of the spirit. I'm in Kogi State. I see myself in a particular road, like police estate, Day junction. I'm seeing a roundabout, and I'm seeing your house. I'm seeing your house. Is that where you stay?
2nd through 4th December 2020 by 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. daily. Live at the International Worship Center, Omega Fire Ministries, Kilometer 132, Benino Kene Abuja Expressway, Auchi, Edo State, Nigeria. For inquiry, please call. Manifestation of the sons of God. Your time to manifest. For the next expectations of a creator. Wait.
Welcome back now on Sports News. Sports Festival now to hold from January 3rd to 17th. The Trinidad National Sports Festival is now set to hold from January 3rd to 17th. The special advisor on media to the Minister of Sports and Youth Development, John Joshua Kanji, confirmed the new date. It was disclosed that the NSF has been postponed till next year, as the ministry did not get approval from the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 to hold a multi-sports competition this year. A decision was reached after a virtual meeting between the Presidential Task Force, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, and the Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Sunday Dare, that the event should hold in adherence to the COVID-19 protocols. And the shifting of the NSF to 2021 was the second time the sports ministry was shifting the fiesta after it was initially moved to December 3rd to 18. In another sports news today, Europa League, Napoli honors Maradona with win. Lista reached last 32. Napoli honored the memory of Diego Maradona with a 2-0 win over Rijeka, which allowed them to go top of Europa League Group F in the first match since the death of the Argentine icon. Gennaro Gattuso's side entered the field all wearing the number 10 jersey of Maradona, who won Napoli's only Serie A title in 1987 and 1990, as well as the 1989 UEFA Cup. Napoli made sure the fans gathered outside to pay their respects to Maradona, weren't disappointed by the current team as an Armando Anastasio own goal and a simple Hiving Lozano finish sealed the points. And Napoli are now 2 points ahead of AZ Alkmaar and the Real Sociedad following their goalless draw in the Netherlands. And fellow Italian side Roma made their way into the last 32 with a 2-0 win at Romanian side club, while Hoffenheim joined them after ensuring their respective passage into the next round from L. And that's the side of the news today on Celebration Television News Desk. If you're just joining us, here is a recap of the news making the headlines. Buhari's regime's second recession, NLC carpet. Federal government says cash sharing and loan misuse ground economy. Ethiopia's Tigray crisis, Prime Minister declares assault on regional capital Mekele. U.S. election, Trump signals he is prepared to leave the White House. NICOM to sanction insurance firms over a 40 billion naira unpaid claims. And on sports, a sports festival now to hold from January 3rd to 17th. Today on our photo of the day, we see this photo, and it says, control what you eat by developing a good eating habit. Control what you eat by developing a good eating habit. Now, the question is, do you eat everything that comes your way? Do you eat everything, just everything that comes your way? Ask yourself that question and tell us what you think about that on our social media platforms. On Facebook, we are Celebration TV. On Instagram, we are My Celebration TV. On Twitter, it is at My Celebration TV. And on YouTube, it is Celebration TV. And don't forget that the continuous transformation of our society is a collective responsibility of all. No matter the office you hold as a nation's president, a thought leader, an opinion molder, a character builder, a professional, or as a person pursuing passion, you have a duty to give your all to making the society a better place for us and the generations to come. So, do well to play your part and do it with all diligence. Thanks for watching the news on Celebration Television News Desk. My name is Bellis Quetta. Have a wonderful weekend.
To 15.7 trillion naira at the end of December 2019.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offense.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor, Ibikule Amosu.